People don't want us to win. Manchester City midfielder Rodri has sparked a fierce debate following a controversial decision during the team's 2-2 draw with Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday, where he strongly criticised the officiating and expressed his frustration over the refereeing standards in the Premier League. In a rare public outburst, the Spanish international suggested that there is a bias against his team, claiming that people don't want us to win, as he vented his anger over a contentious moment in the game. The match at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was a thrilling encounter, with City initially taking a commanding 2-0 lead in the first half thanks to goals from Ryan Cherki and Antoine Semenyo. The Blues appeared to be cruising to a valuable victory that would have cut the gap to Premier League leaders Arsenal to just 4 points. However, Tottenham mounted a determined comeback in the second half, with Dominic Solanke playing a starring role, scoring both goals for Spurs. Solanke's second, a brilliant backheel finish, came in the 70th minute and seemed to cap off an impressive individual performance. But it was Solanke's first goal that became the centre of controversy. The striker's effort came just 8 minutes after the restart and was heavily scrutinised by City players, particularly Rodri and manager Pep Guardiola. The key moment in question involved Solanke seemingly kicking through the back of Marc Guéhi's leg before the ball ended up in the back of the net. Despite a VAR review, the officials did not deem it a foul, allowing the goal to stand, which sent shockwaves through the Manchester City camp. For Rodri, the decision was nothing short of baffling. "I know we won too much and people don't want us to win, but the referee has to be neutral," he said, his voice tinged with frustration. "For me, honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair because we work so hard in these situations, and now to make these decisions, we have to move on." Rodri's words reflected the deep sense of injustice that had taken root in the City dressing room after the match, with the midfielder stating that the situation was becoming intolerable. Rodri's frustration was clear as he continued, "Of course you need to come back, but at the end, when everything is finished, we are frustrated because it's so clear the foul. He kicked the leg and of course with the push of the action on the ball goes in." The midfielder was referring to the moment when Solanke made contact with Guéhi's leg before scoring. To Rodri, it was a clear foul that should have been penalised. City had hoped to extend their dominance at the top of the Premier League, but this latest controversial decision added to a growing list of similar instances where refereeing calls seemed to go against them. It wasn't just the Spurs match. Rodri had already expressed his dissatisfaction with recent decisions in other fixtures. The midfielder cited the disallowed goal by VAR during their 2-0 Carabao Cup win over Newcastle, and in particular the incident in the Manchester derby where Diogo Dalot escaped a red card after a foul on Jack Grealish. Rodri pointed out that in all of these situations, the referee's decisions had left City feeling aggrieved and questioning the fairness of the officiating. In the wake of the Tottenham draw, Rodri's frustration boiled over as he highlighted the growing number of controversial calls that had been made against City in recent weeks. "We have to pay attention to these little things," he stated, "because otherwise it's going to be difficult for everyone. This league is like this. It's about small details and everything counts." Rodri, typically known for his calm and collected demeanour on the field, made it clear that he felt these small details were costing his team precious points and momentum in the race for the title. Rodri's criticisms were not limited to the Tottenham match alone. Reflecting further on the incident with Solanke, he added, "I don't know how to feel. Now I see the images. On the pitch, you don't see it. It's a clear foul in the first action of the goal. It's a clear foul and VAR is there for a reason. These small details make the difference. We're trying to do our best. It's the first goal they scored. And maybe if they don't score the goal, we win the game." His words echoed the sense of disbelief that had taken hold of the City squad, as they felt the tide was turning against them in the most frustrating of circumstances. In his interview with Australian broadcaster Stan Sport, Rodri acknowledged the importance of moving on from the decision, but made it clear that the consistency of refereeing standards was an issue that needed to be addressed. "It's one game and another game, and it's not possible," He remarked, "Honestly, I never speak about referees. I respect their job massively, but they have to pay attention to these things." Rodri was careful not to directly accuse the referees of any malicious intent, but he did express his belief that mistakes were being made and they were having a significant impact on City's season. In a rare and direct critique of the officials, Rodri pointed to the specifics of the Solanke challenge. "He's kicked the leg, it's so clear, it's so clear. He anticipated the leg of Mark and it's a clear foul, but it's not today. It's 2 or 3 games in a row, and I don't know why, honestly." His frustration was evident as he spoke out about a perceived pattern of decisions that had not gone in City's favour. The Premier League Match Centre provided a statement on Sunday that clarified the decision. According to the league, the referee's decision to award the goal was checked and confirmed by VAR. The review determined that there was no foul in the build-up to the goal, as Solanke was deemed to have played the ball fairly. The goal was therefore credited to Solanke and the decision was upheld. For Rodri and Manchester City, however, the frustration was far from over. The midfielder's comments highlighted the psychological toll that such decisions can take on a team, particularly when they feel unfairly targeted. In the cutthroat environment of the Premier League, every point matters, and for City, these small details could prove crucial in the race for the title. Rodri's outburst, however, is unlikely to be the last word on the matter. Manchester City's ongoing concerns over refereeing decisions are likely to be a topic of discussion in the coming weeks, and it remains to be seen how the club and the Premier League will address these concerns. While Rodri's remarks may have been a moment of frustration, they have brought attention to a growing issue within English football: the consistency and fairness of officiating in the Premier League. Following his outburst after the Tottenham draw, Rodri's sentiments continued to reverberate across the football world, igniting further discussions on the standards of refereeing in the Premier League. The Spaniard's strong words about referees and VAR have amplified concerns over the fairness and accuracy of officiating decisions that have affected not just Manchester City, but potentially the entire league. As more matches unfold, the pressure on the Premier League to address these issues grows. Rodri's remarks have already had an impact on the wider football community, with pundits and former players coming out in support of the midfielder's position. While some acknowledge the difficult nature of officiating and the challenges of VAR, many agree that the technology should provide more consistent and reliable outcomes to ensure fairness. A rising tide of complaints. Rodri's critique follows a series of complaints by Manchester City players and their manager Pep Guardiola about key officiating decisions. Guardiola himself has been vocal in previous seasons, questioning the consistency of refereeing calls that have seemingly gone against his team at crucial moments. It is clear that Manchester City's frustrations with officiating are not just confined to one incident, but are part of a broader narrative that has been unfolding throughout this season. In the same interview, Guardiola supported his players' frustration, adding weight to Rodri's words. "We are a team that plays to the edge, to the limit of the game. Sometimes we win and sometimes we lose. But the decisions should always be fair," said the City boss. Guardiola's defence of his players is hardly new, but his endorsement of Rodri's critique suggests a growing sense of injustice within the City camp. The implications of these decisions have been far-reaching. For a club like Manchester City, who are accustomed to challenging for the highest honours, each point dropped or wrongly awarded decision can have a significant impact on their season's ambitions. If the Premier League's top teams are feeling the effects of inconsistent officiating, the problem could extend to the entire league, particularly as the title race heats up. VAR, the double-edged sword. Now, VAR was introduced with the intention of helping referees make more accurate decisions, but it has not been without its own controversy. While the technology allows for a more thorough review of key moments, it has also created confusion and inconsistency. Fans and players alike have questioned whether the system has lived up to its promise of improving fairness. For Rodri, the use of VAR in his side's recent matches, including the Tottenham game, has been a point of contention. VAR is there for a reason, but we need it to be used correctly. We need clarity, Rodri stressed. His comments reflect a growing sentiment among City players that while VAR may have been designed to eliminate human error, it is still subject to its own inconsistencies. Manchester City's complaints about VAR are not isolated.